been the type to come online, but this person needs to be shown for exactly who he is. And I am so fucking upset, and I don't know if one day I'll regret this, but right now I don't regret it because this person has been a literal piece of shit to me in private, and not even in private because a lot of people publicly know, family knows and everything, but this person proposes to me, wants to build a life with me, has me move my life out here, cheats on me. I find out, continuously is telling me that he doesn't want that life, he wants me, da da da. Then proceeds to be out with people. And yes, I have my receipts. I have my fucking receipts. But you guys will know who the fuck this is. And I don't want this to be a confusion any longer. There's no podcast he can get on, sweet talking the world. It's over with.
What was the pasta bar?
Honestly, because it's a really hard spot to get in, but then Sean, residency, and I got you guys in for 7, but I need to text everyone back and see, but it was going to be around like 7-ish.
Oh, I
get around.
And then you'll come after, right?
Yeah, or before. Or we might not even go there because I need to text them back and see.
Well, yeah, just let me know. You know what?
Well, what time are you going? You're gonna be
I'm gonna be there
7?
for I'll be there around 4:30, 5.
Oh, okay. Okay, I'll let you know if I cancel the movie. I'll be around. I'll hit you up. I'm gonna be out, and I'm either gonna see the movie and not go to the pasta bar. Either way, I'll come to Williamsburg and see you.
All right, bet.
Love you.
All right, my love. Love you too.
Have a good day. Don't let anyone.
Soraya announces her split from Joey, and before y'all say I dropped y'all off anywhere, I'm gonna just tell y'all what's going on, okay? Soraya is an actress and a singer. She is known for her role on Empire. Y'all got that part. Joey, aka Joey Badass, is a rapper, okay? He's always on podcasts, represents all things holy, zen, all the things, right? They get into a relationship. Joey was originally polygamous, had stopped polygamy, then got into a relationship with Soraya. Cool. He proposes to her. She gets pregnant. They have a baby. One thing to note, though, they were found arguing outside. TMZ caught it. People blew up, and they speculated they continued to be together after this. Cool. We caught up. I'm going to tell y'all what's going on today. So she gets on the internet, records a video, and says she's tired, basically, of playing a role. That he shows up in this way on podcasts, and in private he treats her like shit, and he cheats on her. She's forgiven him. He proposed to her, moved her out somewhere that she wasn't from. So basically he moved her out to where he was at, and they were supposed to start a life together. The whole time he's been cheating on her throughout the relationship. She's over it. She made a post about ending the engagement, and she also recorded videos of him talking to another woman as of this past Friday. It's Monday. I'm very proud of her as someone who's left their husband and had to get out of there because he was a piece of shit. I get it. I don't know if y'all saw this, but when she turned the camera around, it was some words that said Louise Hay on there. If you know, you know.
These are my thoughts. They don't have to be yours. I don't think sis is speaking out just because of the cheating. I think cheating is something, unfortunately, she had experienced previously in the relationship. So it wasn't something new. I think what took her over the edge was finding out that he was comfortable enough of not just telling other women their business, but letting other women comment on it and comment on her. That right there can push somebody over to the edge, because cheating, some people are okay with it. I'm sorry. Some women, it's not that big of a deal. They still can forgive. They'll still be with the person. But the moment that you let another woman feel comfortable enough to speak on me, and you say nothing about it, and you actually having a place of a relationship with that other person, that's when everything goes out the window. And I think that's why she's speaking up. The voice thing that I heard, that's something that can push a woman to the edge. 110%. Because you truly playing in my face. And you really show that you don't give 2 craps about me. Because you over here talking about me to another woman. That's crazy, though. That's crazy.
So, one thing I haven't seen people talk about with this whole, Soraya, Joey Badass situation is the girl on the phone in that recording with Joey. that was like the queen of pick-me's. Like, and my thing is like, how do men not see through that immediately? Like, that girl is trying with all her might to get picked. Like, it's just seething through her tone, what she's saying. Like, genuinely, how do men not clock that immediately? It's right, like, y'all are too easy. That's the problem, y'all are too easy.
And let's be clear, any man who makes this face right here wasn't shit to begin with, okay? But all jokes aside, this is a really sad day because Soraya has announced that she ended her engagement with her child's father, Joey Badass. And, I mean, honestly, I'm not surprised because, you know, people cheat and break up every day. But I like them together. She took to her Instagram, put up this statement announcing that they broke up. But also, she posted on her story receipts of him talking to another woman. And the woman is basically like, oh, Soraya is taking out her embarrassment of the cheating on him. Well, who the fuck else is she going to take it out on? And this is why you do not confide in other bitches, because they end up knowing your business and then they have leverage on you. Like, I don't like that. But you know what? Soraya is a beautiful, beautiful girl. I'm sure there are plenty of men lined up in her DMs to swoop her off her feet. Okay? And it's going to be hard being a single parent, but women do it every day. Men do it every day. Joey Badass, you still one of my favorites from the Power series, right? But you ain't shit. Okay? But you from Brooklyn. I mean, what did we expect here?
When people break up and they go out their way to like out the person cheating, like the man, it's usually the man, you know, cheating X, Y, and Z, right? It's so funny because it really don't stop no motion. And that doesn't mean that I feel like the man shouldn't be aired out, because I do. I'm just saying that it's kind of sad because most of the time, if you're airing the man out, it's probably because everybody knows him or he has some type of like motion, status, money, something of the sort that most women are going to want, right? So with that being said, it ain't stopping no motion for him, because all you basically saying is, oh yeah, we're done. Now it's somebody else's turn. And the thing with women is that even if they don't walk into it thinking that they're the exception to the rule, they low-key think they're the exception to the rule. That is exactly why people like Future have so many baby mamas. Every single girl thinks that it's going to be different. That guy Anthony, they keep what's the word? They keep signing his rights away to all these kids he keep having. Like, there's no shortage to women that want to sleep with him and do things with him, because what? They're chasing something that person, whatever motion that person has. There's only a certain amount of men that fit a particular standard that a lot of women are looking for, unfortunately. And all it is, he cheated, he did, blah, 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 blah. These, they don't care. That man gonna have. That's why I'm not shocked with the Soraya and the Joey Badass situation, because I'm literally not shocked that he already was gassing up another chick. Why? Because they don't have to suffer in the same ways that women have to suffer. Not to have to suffer, because you don't have to suffer. But the point is, they don't have to deal with the same exact things that women have to deal with. And let's take it a step further. Like, there's a lot of nuance to these things as well. You don't want to cut off every single prospect that you have because they've done something unfavorable in past relationships. You know what I mean? That doesn't absolutely mean that you're going to have the exact same experience with them, right? But a lot of times, if the person does a whole lot of cheating, he's going to continue to do a whole lot of cheating, you know? But I can understand women feeling like, okay, I'm going to give this person a chance because they might not do the same thing with me. You know what I'm saying? But
And Soraya, no shade, we knew that nigga Joey was acting like Neek behind the motherfucking door. He was playing that role too well. He was playing that role too motherfucking well. And every time paparazzi got y'all having this intense ass conversation. He all aggressive and shit, seeming aggravated and shit, you crying and shit. That shit ain't no surprise. I know you had to put on face for the public, but don't you come on this motherfucker explaining the motherfuck thing. The way you need to be hitting up Jacob after he just wrapped up the shot any fucking way. He made a whole residual motherfucking verse behind your name. He made a whole, it's still possibility. And even if you don't want to go backwards, do it for the plot, bitch. Do it for the plot since motherfuckers plotted on you. They did all that and moved you the fuck up out of there, put a ring on and had you have a baby, all this good grand shit to still be an ain't shit ass nigga. So now it's time to spin a block. Even if you don't want to, Spin it anyway. Don't have this nigga on her having you spinning your motherfucking mind trying to explain who the fuck he is. Fuck him. Wish you would have got his ass before the motherfucking baby. I would have been the fuck up out of there. These niggas don't deserve y'all seeds. Girl, call Jacob and call us back.
I'm seeing it happening again where a woman was done wrong by the man that she was with. And creators are coming onto this app to talk about how it's her fault and she is the one to blame. And I think what a lot of people don't realize about systems at work and the system of misogyny and living in a misogynistic society is that women are constantly being policed and women are constantly being punished. And when these conversations come up, realize that men are absent of accountability and they're absent of any kind of vitriol that they deserve for causing someone that they committed to harm. Being cheated on is a traumatic event. Being betrayed is a traumatic event. So when I see these conversations happening on this platform, it is a tale as old as time. That's why there's labels like Jezebel that are placed on women when men are the easiest and most promiscuous things on this planet. When we see things like homewrecker being placed on the woman when it was the man that made that commitment and it was the man that opened the door to the home. When we see things like daddy issues being placed on a little girl, when the issue is a grown man that didn't want to be a father. It's a grown man that chose to be absent, but all of a sudden it is this girl's issue. But also realize how there is no label for boys who have absent fathers. And you would think that that would have a greater impact. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, it is misogyny at play. So when these conversations come up, I think the real reflection should be, who taught me to have this disdain for women? Who taught me to punish women? Who taught me to view women as less than? Because it really is just a system at play and you are just another foot soldier.
And I really hate when black celebrity couples break up and y'all use it as confirmation bias to hate the opposite gender. So let's say Joey Badass did cheat. What does that change for you? What does that change for me? Nothing. But it's like you use this as evidence that black men ain't shit. No, it just means that Joey Badass ain't shit. Like what, you know what I'm saying? I can see having empathy for somebody versus writing a whole storyline about black men as a species and how we're the problem. And this is not even like a man thing. Take me out of it. I'm not even a man right now. You know what I'm saying? Y'all, because the men do it too with the whole Sierra and Russell Wilson and Future thing. Y'all insert yourselves into these people's lives parasocially when nothing they're doing has any effect on you. It does not say anything about the black community that Joey Badass allegedly cheated. It doesn't. Sorry. It's their relationship. And it's like, I hate, because it's the same shit that white people do. Like, what y'all do to celebrity black people is what white people do to all of us. Y'all take one couple and you use it to define an entire race of people. Is that not the same thing that white people do to us? You know what? I be forgetting. Y'all watch The Shade Room. Never mind.
And as real baddies who are always learning from the world around us, what can we learn from the Joey Badass and Soraya breakup? Because there's a clear lesson here. The lesson is anytime something feels intense in the very beginning, it's usually going to burn out just as fast. And anytime something feels like it's being rushed or is moving fast, it's usually because there's some type of deception involved. Never really followed their love saga like that, but from what I do know is that Soraya was with Jacob Latimore for over 5 years. Okay. Never really seen them have drama in the blogs. Never seen them out fighting. And she didn't end up with his child. She get with Joey Badass. 2 years in, they fighting outside in front of everybody. She ends up having his child. Deceptive men like for everything to feel intense. They like for everything to move fast. Because if you had enough time to sit with yourself, you would see them clearly, right? And it's clear that this woman did not have the full picture of who this person was. And baby, neither did I. Because I see some of y'all on here saying, you know, she should have been known. You get him how you keep him. I've never known Joey Badass to be like a male whore. He's always presented himself as a respectable young man who respects his queen. That don't add up with you cheating on your pregnant fiance. Yeah, alleged narcs, they usually have multiple different personas. You never really know who they truly are because they're performing. And you can tell that Araya, I really hope I'm saying her name right, didn't come to the blog sooner because she was also trying to uphold that performance and that image. And she probably wanted to believe it. She probably wanted to believe it because narcs are just so convincing. And then don't let them be fine. Don't let them. Girl, this is why I can't judge. Been there. Only made it out by the hair of my chinny chin chin. See some women saying that, you know, her getting the whole breakup cake and coming to social media as it being corny or performative. Well, she is an actress. This is social media and it's giving a storyline. Okay? If you don't want a story, don't give me one to tell. Also think it's very pick-me-sha, very pick-me to focus on the woman's reaction and not why she's reacting. You know, slow your roll. A lot of times, these type of men are banking on you to wear the shame of their actions for them, which a lot of women do, right? We get cheated on, we get betrayed, we wear that shame for this man. We feel the guilt for this man, like we cheated. This is what happens. We get blamed. Well, you should have known. And the men are banking on that because that shame and that guilt will keep you silent and it'll keep their image intact. So rip them to shreds. I wouldn't have did it. Only because I know what silence does to a person who has just betrayed you. It eats them alive. You see, the average person already isn't capable of assuming the best outcome. So imagine what someone who just betrayed you is assuming when you go quiet, when they lose access to you. Bitch, they start assuming the worst. This is also the main reason why I believe a lot of times when a narc loses access to you, why they start to smear campaign you, right? Yeah, it's because they're fucking evil and they want people to have a false narrative of you. So it makes it easier for them not to believe you when you tell your side. But what makes you think I even told my side? When people lose access to you, they assume that you are out in the world telling everybody what they did to you, telling their business, telling their dirt, because that's what they're doing to you. Imagine calling everybody we know, my friends and family, trying to give them your side of the story, and they don't even have the story because I'm not thinking about you. That silence forces people to assume the worst. And when they don't have any reaction from you to land their projections, they end up just exposing themselves or going fucking crazy. And that's what I like. That's why when I get betrayed, I go silence. Assume, bitch. But again, I'm very aware that vocalizing your suffering is one of the fastest and easiest ways to alchemize your pain. And I don't think any of these niggas are worth being spared. So kudos to her. And the lesson we are learning here is take your time. For real. If something feels intense and rushed, it's usually because there's some deception.
Soraya, girl, let's be for real. That man is Jamaican, okay? He's already admitted to liking poly relationships, and he cheated on his last girlfriend. You didn't know how to read the room before the room got to you? Hello?
This whole Joey and Soraya breakup thing and like him being on the phone venting to another woman about their relationship, to me it just furthers my point that men will always win in the end, because there will always be another woman waiting and ready to take your spot in a relationship. Even with Blueface and his new baby mama, like, I guarantee you that Blueface could go do that over and over and over and over again, because it's always going to be another goofy woman that is waiting for their opportunity. They're waiting for their spot in line. As long as there's always another woman waiting around to be picked, men are never going to be lonely, ever. And that's really my point, is like, these men are not lonely enough. Like, and I can't even be mad at the men at this point. Like, I'm mad at us. Like, I'm mad at the women, because we're the reason why this stuff be happening. He's whack for cheating. Don't get me wrong, I would never sit here and justify that. However, when there's always going to be a woman around, a woman ready and willing to be next in line to be with a man, it's nothing really that we can do. I follow this lady on here who's always saying, men need women, they don't need you. And that point will forever stand, because it's always going to be another woman that's willing and waiting around and thinking that she gonna be the exception, and thinking that, oh, he's not gonna do that to me. Because, so as long as we as women still have that mentality.
After learning that Joey Badass had gone on record claiming to be polyamorous before their relationship, it made me think we really have to be careful about thinking we can change these men. Like Maya Angelou once said, when people show you who they are, believe them. We have to remember that we are meeting people at big grown ages. By this point, they've lived entire lives before us, developed habits and patterns, beliefs about relationships and ways of moving through the world. That doesn't mean people can't change, but it is hard to teach an old dog new tricks. And usually what you see is what you get. So if you are someone who expects complete monogamy in your relationship, I would advise you against involving yourself with any man who has a proven history of consistent infidelity, especially one that has made it clear he struggles with being with one person. Because 9 times out of 10, those deeply rooted desires and habits are not going to suddenly disappear just because he met you. And I know sometimes as women we think he may have been like that before, but he'll be different with me. Sometimes he might be, but that is a dangerous gamble to take with your heart. We are not simply wrestling against flesh and blood. People have internal demons that they are struggling with on the inside. And I just think the good girls that have a lot going for themselves should not involve themselves with that fight. It doesn't change the fact that I feel for Soraya and have a lot of empathy for her situation. And I'm glad she at least had the courage to leave. But it's a lesson to leave these men with alternative lifestyle habits alone.